Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network, we have a lot of Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network, we have a lot of great shows on all of our great social media outlets. PodcastCity.net.
Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up. You can send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter at Podcast City Net.
Only on Podcast City Network. It is time to play. You're listening to ELS. Let's go! Uncut.
No doubt.
Put your drinks up!
Okay. Now we come to the payoff. Let's rock.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to ELS Uncut, your Saturday night unfiltered, don't give a flying fuck podcast. I am Everett Lee. Quick shout out to everyone that follows me on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett_Lee, Facebook.com/Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up. And of course, PodcastCity.net, the official host of ELS Uncut. We are back for 2019, and I'm not alone tonight. I have two of my guests with me tonight on ELS Uncut. I have Mr. Chris Carnage and David C. Russell of Deathmatch Russell Podcast. How you gentlemen doing?
Carnage. What's up?
Hey fans, that's right, we're here live at you in 2019.
2019, man. It's coming quick, man. It's like, geez, couple more weeks. What? Anniversary time. Holy smokes. Time flies.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you guys since last year.
I know.
It's last year.
I know. Last year was the last time I seen any of you guys, basically. And I survived through 2018. Thank God I did, because it's just crazy. And, anything that happens live. And, of course, you've seen the intro, which didn't go well for Podcast City Network, though. But, at least I got one of them out of the way tonight. The one of the mentions, right? Oops.
Oopsie.
Fucking thing didn't work, a little bit rusty, man, because taking time off before 2019, doing Everett Lee show, having my guest on this past week, Hannah Hartkoff, had her on the Everett Lee show, and then David's like, when's ELS Uncut coming back? And I'm like, you know what? It's 2019. ELS Uncut needs to come back. It does.
It's back!
It
ding,
is.
Ding, ding, ding.
It is back, and it's coming back
Better than ever.
Oh, better than ever.
Oh, Eric Bischoff in me.
It's the best around. Oh.
You guys are great. You guys are definitely great. There's one thing that I definitely
One thing
I definitely like to do. As I put this post out here on Facebook, I do want to address the elephant in the room, because me and Chris have been talking about it for a while, and it's something that we need to address, because it has to do with Podcast City Network, and you know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. At first I thought you were talking about me and how large I am. Damn.
I know I've let myself go a little with a few pizzas over the holidays, but
He's still doing a Hogan thing over there. Hold on.
Oh God! Nah, the thing I need to address, I got to get this off my chest, man. I definitely have to get this off my chest because it's been brewing and happening for a long time. Because
we're like your council tonight. Okay, we're gonna go into session right now. We want you to take a deep
we're definitely gonna go into session because the thing I'm talking about is that on January 26th from 2 to 12 a.m., Podcast City Network 1 year anniversary with special guests, the true master of wrestling ring music, Hurricane JJ McGuire, will be at the 1 year anniversary event.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
That's the guy.
Yes.
That's the guy who wrote all the themes from back in the day of WWF, WCW. List goes on, and even an appearance in a TV series called Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise. And
yeah.
He ain't the only special guest we're gonna have here on the network. 1 year anniversary on January 26th. We're also going to have the Craig Thompson Project with live music. And we're going to have food and drink specials, prize giveaways, and huge announcements with live in front of an audience recorded podcasts from your favorite shows of Podcast City Network, such as the Everett Lee Show, ELS Uncut, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, the Super Radio Brothers. Second Rounds Florida Edition, Chris Carnage, and the Phoenix Gate podcast, and much more at City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida on January 26th.
There was something you said in all of that. I think you said something about prizes. I don't know. There's just so many things that are floating around that could just go into the wonderful hands of a wonderful fan. If you come January 26th from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. in beautiful D-Land, Florida.
Just remember, one of those prizes might be an official Deathmatch Russell Podcast t-shirt, lapel pin, and sticker. Ooh.
Oh, man.
I might
have some official Podcast City Network merchandise, including t-shirts, among other things.
Ooh. Let's get an applause for that, man.
I tell you what.
Yeah,
I tell you what, we just have so many great things going on with this event, and definitely make sure you come out because now we got JJ's going to be there. It's going to be a monumentous time on top of that with the Craig Thompson Project and all of our wonderful shows. Just make sure you come out 2620 North Woodland Boulevard in beautiful D-Land, Florida. $8 cover, and we have door prizes, all kinds of giveaways, food and drink specials, which I have an announcement on that a little later, and all of our great shows doing live with our audience, recorded podcasts that we're going to pull our fans on, talk to them, pull on some great guests. It's going to be an amazing time.
It is. It definitely is. Let's get a round of applause for that right now.
Fun. We're all about fun.
Yep. What's that, David?
Fun and business.
Fun and business. Fun in business, that's right. It is fun in business when you come and hang out with the guys and the crew of Podcast City Network, man. I want to mention that to you guys. I don't know if you've seen the post this week that I put out there that this past Thursday I was a guest on Scott Colbert and Todd Sturridge from the Imaginarium. I was a guest on their podcast Thursday, and
cool.
We had a hell of a time, man. Always have a hell of a time talking with Scott and Todd. As always, those two on the Imaginarium podcast, and Scott, man, he is. You guys are gonna have to listen to it because I believe it's gonna be dropping Monday, and I got on there and I promoted the 1 year anniversary of Podcast City Network, and I cannot wait for everyone to hear what I had to say about the network and the shows on the network. And we talked about that. I promoted that, the 1 year anniversary, and we got into other conversations that go way out left field and come right back, and you make you scratch your head. And just wait till you hear what Scott has to say about their new sponsors. that they got, that they went out and got. It's not what you think. It's not what you think, because it took me by surprise, and it will have everyone chuckling and laughing. And it's Scott Colbert, man. What do you expect from the Imaginarium? And especially when he's with Todd, those two together on the same podcast, plus adding Everett Lee on there.
Wait a minute, Everett. Speaking of newest sponsors. Shout out to Deathmatch Russell for getting on board the Stand-Alone Wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Let's give a round of applause for that.
Good job, sir.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Congratulations on that, man.
Cool. I'm looking forward to working beside them and bringing some talent on, and we're going to have a lot of good stuff that I'm going to work with you. Well, actually, February 1st, we have our first live podcast with the owner of Stand-Alone Wrestling and After Dark. We're gonna have Chad Mines on the line, Facebook. I'm gonna be on with Everett Lee, and if Chris wants to join, you're more than welcome to join on a Friday night.
I might just have to.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. ELS Uncut, February 1st, man. Right after the 1 year anniversary, all the chaos and fun. It's going to be great. It definitely is going to be great. And I forgot to mention that to you today, Chris, while you're running around, because I was trying to remember a lot of things while you're out getting word out about the 1 year anniversary. That was one of the things that I needed to mention to you. It's like David got a hookup for ELS Uncut Friday night.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Yep. It's all good.
Yeah.
I took a board membership. How's that? I took a board job for you guys. Here. Set you up.
I gotta play this.
But damn! Not only do I have a guest coming up, but wait, Everett, you have a guest coming up pretty soon too.
I do? Who do I have? You're my bookie? No.
I believe you have.
He just might be.
Jackpot. What's your favorite, Chris?
I do have a guest coming up on Wednesday on the Everett Lee Show at 1 p.m. And that is the Stubborn Angel, Shauna Reed, will be joining me on the podcast. We'll be talking about a lot of wrestling with Shauna Reed. She's been pretty busy here lately. I mean, hell, just, what was it, about a month ago? She was on SmackDown. She was on SmackDown as an EMT.
SmackDown. She was on my podcast. She was on my podcast, and she's everywhere. And
she is.
Your podcast. You're gonna have fun with her.
Yeah, I definitely am. I'm looking forward to it, and shout out to Robin Nilsson for the recommendation again.
Shout out to Russell Podcast, right?
Yes.
Robin Nilsson.
Yeah, just in general.
Yes, Russell Podcast. They've been hitting it, especially you, David, with the guest you guys have been having on. Damn. What else has been going on, Chris? I mean, David and Robin's been killing it. All the shows have been killing it with great content. Super Radio Brothers, they updated their
software
stuff there for their live stream on Thursday nights, which is great.
I guess I just got to throw it out there then that Chris Carnage will be having a special guest coming on here before the 1 year anniversary show.
Yes.
I will not make the announcement yet, because I like suspense. So make sure that you keep your eyes peeled over the course of the next week as I make this announcement, and it'll be done live on Facebook Live sometime next week.
Yes.
Ooh. Tune in for that, fans. Tune in and listen.
Yes, and all you got to do is go to facebook.com/Chris Carnage Official to keep tabs and find out.
That's right. That's right. You definitely do. And now, right now, we're streaming on Twitch. On podcastingnetwork.twitch. Now, Chris, are we co-streaming right now tonight? I'm just wondering.
Oh, we are, sir.
We are streaming on Chris Carnage Official on Twitch.
Wow.
Yes.
Score.
Yes.
Yep, just go to twitch.tv/Chris Carnage Official or twitch.tv/Podcast City Network and see this same stream on either.
That's right.
Or you can just pop over to podcastcity.net, go under Podcast to Live Now, see us right there as well.
That's right. You got three different places to catch this live podcast tonight.
Or they could even restream it and catch it on Deathmatch Russell Podcast. No.
I wonder if you could do a triple threat like that. What do you think? I don't think you can.
No, you can.
You can. Oh, damn. Damn.
Snap.
We're gonna
The
have to.
options are limitless.
Yes. Yes, they are.
And you know why they're limitless? It's because we're the cream of the crop. Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what, Everett? Can I just jump into the wrestling right now? Let's just talk wrestling. Man. You got me, as you just mentioned, the cream of the crop. Let's, pay our, we just lost one of the best managers.
Yes.
One of the best announcers in the game of the business of professional wrestling. The one and only Mean Gene Okerlund. Man, what do you think of all that, Chris? When things comes down to top, one of the guys that really knocked away from
When it comes to being a ring announcer, a backstage commentator, an interviewer, a main commentator right at the commentary desk, Mean Gene was always one of the best.
Yeah.
He always was able to bring his own twist to every interview and every comment he ever made. And that's what's so great about Mean Gene. And it's a very sad day that we have lost one of the greatest in-ring announcers and commentators in our generation.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I definitely do agree with that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
go ahead, David. I'm just saying I agree with it. I definitely agree with it. Go ahead, David.
Bringing back memories, as a kid watching him on TV. There he is, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage behind the mic. All the backstage pay-per-views and Royal Rumbles and WrestleManias and.
Well, even on top of that, too, to elaborate more, all the wonderful moments between Andre the Giant smacking his hand in his face and the piece of the stage falling back with his expletive remark.
Or
and
bushwhackers getting involved with him or something.
There's so many great moments and so many memories.
Yep.
And it was all so great. And, I thought it was really awesome WWE did allow the Hulk Hogan to come out and eulogize him on Raw just because, that was one of Mean Gene's closest friends. And obviously he had probably worked with the Hulkster more than anybody else.
He did.
So it was really nice to see WWE let bygones be bygones for that moment to happen.
I like how he collaborated on his friends. That was really cool. How he came out and just said, Bobby the Brain Heenan and all the other guys. Matches and announcing the way he probably would have wanted it,
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely, man. Want to raise a glass high tonight to Mr. Mean Gene Okerlund. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. We're gonna miss you, brother. We'll miss you.
Mean Gene.
Consummate professional.
Yes.
Really was.
Yes, he definitely was. I loved him on Legends House, man. When they took all the legends on the WWE Network and they put all the legends in the house. You had Hillbilly Jim, Roddy Piper.
I never got into that series.
You never seen it?
I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch it because it's great. Because you take all those personalities, you put them under one roof, and you get a recipe for some really interesting stuff that goes on. You definitely do.
But also, don't forget that he's going to be inducted. So, the big, I think, right? Yes.
Inducted? No, he's already been in the Hall of Fame, if you're talking about that.
Yeah, he's been in the Hall of Fame like 13 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Mean
That's
Gene
fine.
talking about.
Yeah. Mean Gene's been in the Hall of Fame for 13 years. Yeah, that's fine.
Hall of Fame. Okay, bye.
Now,
oh my goodness.
Now I was sitting there talking to JJ McGuire when that was going on, and he called me up on the phone talking some stuff. Had some questions about the 1 year anniversary show, and we were talking about that, and he gave me his thoughts on it, and which I will not share on air, which I'll share with you guys off air. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah, because he's known him a long time too with the business.
Very long, yes.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Yeah, he's known him for a long time. He definitely has known him for a long time. Yep. I want to address the other elephant in the room, guys, because this has been going on all week. The other elephant in the room that I want to address is for the fact that Twitter and Facebook, especially on Twitter, blew up over this announcement this past week because this past Tuesday, it was live streamed for an hour in Jacksonville, right across from where SmackDown Live was on Tuesday in Jacksonville, Florida, right here in the state of Florida. I'm talking about AEW. I'm talking about that right there. I want to jump into this wrestling talk since David's got me pumped up. So
I know Robin too. Everybody's got it. It's interesting. This should be interesting what they came up with. This is really knocking like another moment as they did it before. They sold out the arena, for the first time for All In, and let's see what happens. This is going to be challenge upon challenge to see now who's but as Vince McMahon. I'm not picking the other talent. Trying to sign him,
And what's crazy about this, there's so many rumors running abound with it, and it's insane. But here's the one thing, because this is not a rumor, this is fact.
Yes.
The people that are financially backing AEW, which would be Tony Khan, the son of Shad Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, which Tony Khan still has interest in, and Tony Khan is involved in many other businesses as well, is worth over twice as much money as Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Vince McMahon was valued at about $2.9 billion fiscal year 2018, while the Khans were valued at a total of $6.7 billion. So at the end of the day, if they really wanted to sink some money into it, they really could push AEW to be the true competitor to WWE.
They already pushed the T-shirts and hats already. Which are on sale right now if you look online.
And it's funny you bring up the merchandise because, like you said, Everett, that they were doing the show right across the street at the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I think is TIAFF or whatever it is stadium, having that rally right outside.
Right there.
They were not allowing anyone with AEW merchandise on, shirts, jackets, hats, anything, to come in for that SmackDown Live event.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was Vince's orders. Though, and a lot of people, because everything went viral with that. Because David, you pointed it out, and I pointed out to you guys that I was like, look at this. They're not even allowing people to come in and buy a ticket, and even fans that bought AEW merchandise even said, "Hey, I'll buy a WWE shirt. I'll take this off and buy a WWE shirt to wear in there." They were nice enough to do that. People there, no. Really? Come on. But I guess their tune changed once everything went viral.
Yeah.
In this day of age.
And that's the thing. It's going to hurt them at the end of the day. You don't want to end up having that negative publicity of turning away fans. What company in their right mind turns away fans, paying fans?
Yep. WWE did that for taping. Remember that, Everett? We were talking about
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, one person I talked to said that they basically, back in the Monday Night Wars, if someone came in wearing to a Monday Night Raw wearing an NWO shirt, or it's just some shirt that had something on it that no one wanted to see or couldn't show, they'd blur it out, and they would do that or turn their shirts inside out. A lot of people did that there just to come in and watch SmackDown. What I liked about this is that people waiting to watch SmackDown, waiting for SmackDown. All this is going on. They're like, what's going on over here? They went over to check it out. And then people who were there at the rally were like, you know what do we do? We're here. Hey, SmackDown's across the street. Hey, let's go see SmackDown. It kind of...
Exactly.
Right there.
And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, with how the industry is set up, everybody needs to try and be supportive of each other. Maybe like an approach a certain Podcast City network takes. But, at the end of the day, you don't go and just crap on the competition because you think for some wad-ass reason it's going to end up hurting your ratings or your viewership. They just shot themselves in the foot. It's like, hi, you can't come in here, and we're going to blame that across the street.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, you're kidding. It's like showing up. It's like basically like showing up, and during the Monday Night Wars, you show up to a WCW Nitro, Monday Nitro, wearing a Raw's War shirt. Yeah, WCW.
WCW.
Yeah, it's just a fucking shit, man.
I'm WCW champion.
And what's bad is that's not a joke.
Yep, he's in the history books as the world champion. He is. He definitely
is. That he is.
Wrestling, though, give him credit. We all bash on him.
And you know what? You know what? It's kind of like The Miz too. Like The Miz came from reality TV, doing the Real World Back to New York and doing Real World Road Rule Challenge and all that, and ended up coming in WWE. And a lot of people thought he was a damn joke, including myself. Guess what? I am a huge Miz supporter now because he's one of the best heels there is in the industry today.
Reach out and hit powerbomb.com. Powerbomb T-shirts, and you can purchase a David Arquette T-shirt. How's that? I'm gonna shout out my friend's business man.
Yeah,
he's got shirts. It's awesome.
And you know what? And David Arquette can actually wrestle. People kind of crap on him because you know he's an actor and all that. But hey, he did it and he followed his dream. So
he didn't act doing a death match. That wasn't an act. That was a performance right there. A physical.
There's no such thing as acting a death match.
No, there's not. There's not, because Mr. Deathmatch Russell knows about a few death matches.
I've seen that on the back of the necks. I see that shit.
Yeah,
That's real.
He's seen it. He sees it. David sees it, man.
It's not fake. You know?
No.
It's real.
Definitely not. You know, I have like scars in my elbows and all kinds of stuff from barbed wire tearing me open, chain link fence just grating my skin. Come on now, light tube. Thumbtacks, flaming tables. Oh man, flaming tables are fun. Anybody tells you otherwise, they're just a little bit scared. You ever seen Ready to Rumble? Upside down, Diamond Dizza.
That's why I always have to wear. That's why I rep my man Mick Foley. You know?
Oh man, I should have repped my Ric Flair, my red, white, and woo shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh, next
all I gotta say is you know, I never did remove that from the 50th episode. It's been up there on the Everett Lee show. It's been on there ever since.
And you should leave it till the 10,000th and 50th episode.
Yeah, I should.
It shall always remain.
I definitely should. But
yeah.
AEW, man, AEW's new kid on the block, and there's one thing I think people's missing with all this, okay? A lot of people's jumping in and saying, oh, this is Monday Night War 2.0 and everything. You know what I got out of this? They basically announced who they have right now on the roster, who they signed, who they're going to get, and their pay-per-view, I believe it's in April or May. Double or Nothing. Okay? That's excited to be about. April. Thank you. That's what the announcement is. And, you know, Chris Jericho signing, and then just there's an unnamed event in Jacksonville. So there's two things to look forward to, or actually a few things to look forward to with AEW. The roster, Double or Nothing, and the unnamed event that's going to be held in Jacksonville. There you go. People just, you know, and it's like, oh, competition, TV deal. They didn't say shit about that, man. You know, Twitter's just funny about that.
Well, the thing is that people are losing their minds because they're like, oh, well, this isn't going to be anything different than anything else we've seen. But here's the thing. One of the promotion you've seen that has the financial backing AEW has, and on top of it, they're putting together a brain trust and creative team that honestly, in my opinion, is going to be far better than what any kind of Nickelodeon crap WWE can put out.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, they also signed Billy Gunn on as to be one of the producers, and I think that's a great pickup, seeing how he was a producer for WWE for a long time and then ended up transferring over to being a road agent more, and now he's going back to helping actually be part of creative, because that's the thing WWE is lacking, is any kind of creative freedom for their talent.
Also, his son Also, his son's involved too, so that's pretty cool.
Yes, he is, and it's amazing they're able to do that. And another thing that you look at too is that you have a lot of great talent they pulled in between Pac, Hangman Page, all kinds of different talent. Of course, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Joey Janela.
So many
Penelope Ford.
Yeah.
Britt Baker.
Absolutely. So much great talent. But the biggest fish out there that I see that could still make the jump over, actually, I should say 2 stars, Kenny Omega and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, AJ, though. AJ's in the prime of his career, and he's getting down the downswing and wants to retire. AJ, just to clear the air with everybody, if you watch his 24/7 the 365 special WWE did. He doesn't want to slow down. He just wants more family time.
Yeah.
What will AEW be able to give him? A more relaxed schedule while still putting on amazing A-class 5-star matches with the best talent in the world, with match creativity, with actual storyline creativity, all the freedoms they need to do what they want that they can't do in WWE.
Exactly. You said it best, man. You took the words right out of my mouth. I don't even know what else to say about that, but I definitely do agree.
It's just that Chris Carnage. It's that the gift and the curse of just being able to put it on the nose.
I believe that. I definitely do believe that. There was some other news in wrestling this week too with NXT UK.
They're killing it. They're big shout out to them.
Yeah. Have you guys checked it out? You checked it out, David?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been doing a little research, and I'm just like, wow, this is interesting. This is something to watch that they need. Come on, they need that.
The UK is definitely just killing it.
The British style, man, just think about it. British style wrestling. Where are you going to see these? Nowhere.
No, you're definitely not going to.
And another thing I want to kind of give props for is the fact that this is yet again another Triple H product that they've been able to go into another country and be able to set up shop, now have a performance center, all this great talent, and they just debuted even more talent last night with the coming of Walter, the Australian Bruiser. So, at the end of the day, with the NXT movement, I feel that WWE eventually can get to where it needs to go and be the promotion everybody wants it to be. But sadly, it will take one Vince McMahon stepping out of the way for Triple H to take over.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely does. Of course, like the UK Performance Center, that was one of the big news right there. They got the Performance Center in the UK. And apparently, I guess from what Pete Dunne mentioned, that he knew that it was coming, but he didn't know when. And that a UK division of NXT was coming when he signed. And the success of the UK tournament, both those tournaments have gave way for talent to be showcased. And tonight, tomorrow, I am definitely going to go back on the network and watch the UK's TakeOver special, man, because it was just from everything that's been reporting right here I'm looking at, it's been so fucking great. And speaking of the UK Performance Center, off of WrestlingInc.com, Triple H talked about the UK Performance Center in London, which offers about 17,000 square foot of facility with 2 training rings, world-class equipment, and numerous trainers. This is the first of many projected WWE performances outside the United States. Also reported on WrestlingInc.com, Triple H also spoke with Inside the Ropes at the event and explained how certain NXT and UK stars will indeed make eventually transitions to Raw and SmackDown, but along that there are certain stars that will begin to rotate back through various development territories they continue to establish. And he explained that, and he had to say right here, let me read the quote here from WrestlingInc.com, quote, "It depends on the passion as where we go first. The passion was so strong here in the UK that it was a massive base. Australia has a good scene happening there right now. We've obviously keeping an eye on it and working with it, but these are large commitments. So it's about when we have the level of interest and belief that there are enough people there for it to succeed. We can train people anywhere. But once that boils up to enough passion, enough people, and enough interest in the marketplace, then we will go there and reward that passion. But we get to put a brand on the ground. We get to put an NXT Australia there. We get to make the scene happen there. I do think that's a strong possibility." Is he saying NXT Australia is the next thing now? What do you think, Chris?
He's absolutely saying that there's an NXT Australia coming, and it'd be dumb not to, just because look at the amount of talent that they've recently gotten from Australia, including who they debuted last night on NXT UK takeover. So you look at it, that they also had a mega pay-per-view, international pay-per-view there just recently. So it honestly makes sense. I feel there's the talent there. There's definitely the fanship there, which has been very committed every time WWE makes a trip to Australia, dating back for the past 20 years. So at the end of the day, why wouldn't you? That makes very much sense, because I feel like the only other place you realistically could go is probably somewhere like Japan. But with how New Japan has blanketed there, and everything going on with New Japan and the rumor that they might ditch ROH for AEW as a partner, that WWE just might leave Japan alone at this point and try and focus on other ventures.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Definitely. What are your thoughts on that, David? What do you think about that?
It's just insane. We'll see what happens. You know, like I said, UK is like NXT needs wrestling. They just need wrestling. People want to see wrestling. It's a product of WWE performance. You know, it's what we watch, right? It's NXT.
Yeah.
It's like it's coming to my backyard. What, a couple days or so?
Mm-hmm.
I can go if I want it, but I'm not. I have something else going on, I think. But I will, Thursday night. It's a Thursday night. I don't think I want to get out of work and just go, but.
yeah, David, you're kind of speechless there, man. And Chris, you nailed it right there as always. But
it's usually, you can just see this writing on the walls of these kinds of things. You know, you talk about Australia that much, guess what? That's probably where they're going. And Triple H is not a dumb guy at all, which is why inevitably WWE will end up being great because of him. Yes. But this is where we are.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm trying to skim through here and look at the stuff. There's a lot of stuff happening with the UK, a lot of things. Shawn Michael, he praised an NXT UK superstar. Finn Balor, you mentioned this. I want to ask you about this.
Yeah.
You told me about Finn Balor. What about Finn Balor last night? What the heck happened?
Well, there was a wrestler that was involved in a match that was supposed to be going up against Jordan Devlin that ended up having to fall out because of an injury, but Finn Balor ended up stepping in at NXT TakeOver UK to be able to battle his protege Jordan Devlin, which ended up being, from what I heard, a remarkable match. And I think that shows with what you were talking about earlier, with the fact that they are trying to rotate through some of these main roster talents back into the NXT developmental system to help push WWE and NXT into these territories internationally. Yes. And with Finn Balor being of close proximity from Ireland, it only made sense to have someone like him there.
Definitely. Yeah, student versus master. And talking about having the talent go back through the NXT. For example, just a few months ago, who ended up showing up at a North American Championship Open Challenge against Ricochet? Who was that? Who was
Peter
that?
Griffin.
Guys? Peter Griffin. Guess what, Chris?
You know what's gonna happen? You just made the list.
Tyler Breeze showed up. And the place, the in Orlando there, Full Sail, the crowd there lost their shit when Tyler Breeze showed up, and he got the welcome back chant. And one thing I've noticed about when you had main roster talent who started out in NXT and they come back to NXT, they look like they're more happy and they're like, thank God I'm back. I can actually smile.
Yeah, because they're like, forget the main roster.
I know. Forget the main roster because of everything. Perfect example. The Ascension, they were badasses in NXT. Badass tag team champion. They go with the main roster, and look what happens. And then they went back one time or a couple times to the NXT to help, like during the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Those guys looked really happy, and they were glad to be there, just to wrestle, which was great. And yeah, this Finn Balor coming back to wrestle in NXT. I cannot wait to see that when I watch it on the network, man. I cannot wait to watch that.
Oh, it's going to be good. I tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. It's going to be great. And I've been seeing the build up all week. Because by the time I turn down at night and I'm done with my day and I go to bed, I have the WWE Network playing. And I've sit there and I'm so tired. I try to stay awake. I'm like, NXT UK. And I fall asleep. But I try to watch and I see some amazing stuff. I do see some amazing stuff. Now, one thing that I want to ask David is, what is happening with promotions that with GCW? What's happening there?
Actually, last night actually Freelance Wrestling and versus GCW in Chicago, Illinois. That was a good card last night. The talent once again shown versus GCW, and then tonight they're actually having their deathmatch tournament show. 400 degrees. GCW presents 400 degrees, and it's snowing in Chicago right now. So yeah, they're doing good things right now. And shout out to GCW and all the roster and everybody else in the staff too. They're just doing big things over there. It's going to be blood fest.
Yes.
In blood and blood and
yes.
blood.
Now, what happened with Freelance? Actually, I got it pulled up right here, guys. I got it pulled up right here. Check this out. We had Chicago Freelance Wrestling, and one of the matches had was a 6-man scrambled match with Chris Castrillo versus Elliot Paul versus Danger Mask versus G Raver versus Oren Bennett versus Alex Colon. Huh?
Oren Vetta.
Oren Vetta. Thank you.
Alex
I suck at names. I'm sorry.
Alex Cologne. Go ahead.
Yes. Then you had Matt Nix. Alex Cologne. Okay. Well, I said colon. I'm sorry. Cologne. Excuse me. Don't kill me.
Yeah, don't insult that, man.
Yes. Matt Nix and Alex Olsen versus Tommy Deppen.
Everett Lee's about to be totally banned from saying names from now on.
How about I just screenshot the shit and I'll say, read. We'll have moments of silence. We'll have dead air that will fucking kill us. How about that?
Oh, it's too good. You never know what you're gonna get on Podcast City Network.
Let me stroke my ego there. If you don't like that, take it up with the co-owners.
Don't stroke that ego too hard. We got a show to do.
Oh damn! Don't let that dead air suffocate you.
This is family programming, sir.
No, it's
fuck family programming. Shit.
It's not family programming. It's mature. This is mature.
Yeah, because we're on ELS UNCUT.
Yeah, so everything fucking goes, man. Balls to the wall, baby. Because when you come on here and view this, you got about a
33 and a third chance
of actually walking away without brain damage.
I was poor.
Oh, it's too good.
All right, we have Matt Nix and Alex Olsen versus Tommy Deppen and Jimmy Lloyd. All right, and then we had Acid Jazz, Marcy Rocket, and GPA versus Reed Bentley, KTB, and John Wayne Murdoch.
Yeah, the Rejects.
Yes.
Love the tearing it up tonight too. Bloody.
Then you had the
hell.
Work Horsemen versus Marcus Crane and Shellac. Did I say that right? Yeah. Shellac. Then he had Pat Monix versus I cannot say
Pat Monix.
Monix.
Pat Monix. Yes.
Yeah, don't insult Pat Monix. That's a great wrestler right there.
Pat Monix. He went up against I cannot say this. Eric Ryan. Here, let me screenshot this, okay? Here. Screenshot it right there. All right. Right there. Can you
what
see
are we going to do with you, Everett?
I know. Can you see it on your end right there?
Take it back to school.
Take it back to school. Oh my God.
Can
you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see it? All right, what's it say? Read it off to me, David.
Bueller.
Adam.
What the hell? You just joined the video chat, Chris? What the hell just happened? He froze. Look at him.
We don't need to
Look at him. He froze.
into the camera. Hold on.
Oh my God, there he is.
Got that.
What happened, man? What happened?
I don't know. I went on my phone to do things, and things happened.
Chris fucked up.
Watch this. Like magic.
Okay.
All right, we're watching. All right, let's get this on you. Okay, we're watching.
We're watching. That picture of that first, Everett.
No, it's already too late, man. It's funny. After stuff out. Oh, nice.
Like magic, sir. I learn things.
No, you didn't.
That's what I'm good at. I
Look
drink
at
and I know things.
Yeah, look at that, man. You're working with 2 camera angles. Multi-production.
Been doing it all day. David tried it. What happened? There he is. Now can David figure out how to get back? Da, na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. There he is, but he's sideways.
God.
Let's watch Everett do something. Ready?
What's that?
Everett's gonna disappear now.
How? You're
Where did he go? Everett.
He's too Batman.
Oh.
I'm right here. Do you see me?
Chris, do you see him?
I don't know if he was wearing a John Cena shirt. I might be able to see him easier.
Don't.
Can't see me.
Oh my goodness!
You know what? See Chris ever messing with these faces on here that I always do with daughter?
What?
He done went there.
Hey, look, it's James Ellsworth.
I like how. I like. I like how he looks kind of like a bearded baby.
He looks like Baby Genius.
Oh my goodness!
Guys, Mario, hello, Luigi. What's the matter, Mario?
Oh man!
I'm coming after you.
You're coming after.
But you know what?
Well,
with all this crazy stuff we do, and being able to let David C. Russell do things like this, we have wonderful people who allow us to do these things. Who are they, Everett?
Who are they? Well, I can tell you a bunch of people that support Podcasting Network, though. But I want to ask you guys your thoughts about this before I get into that.
I will rule Podcast City Network for one night only.
You one night only. Look at you.
Watch, we're gonna end up with a David C. Russell takes over Podcast City Network special.
Yep. Yeah. Let me ask you guys your thought about this, okay? All right.
Oh my goodness.
Are you sure about that?
All right, we get out of this bullshit now. Hey, get out of it. You good? What the fuck you doing?
Are you sure about that? Here,
it's too good.
Let me turn that up. Let me turn this up for you, David. I just want to ask you, are you sure about that?
Yeah,
are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Sure. Sure.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Sure.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure?
Oh shit.
Are you
Dude, blowers.
You just got McShafted.
Don't want anything to do with
Oh,
that.
damn. Really? All right, let's. We're gonna move on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You can check out a lot of great sponsors that support Podcast City Network over on podcastcity.net. Be sure to hit the sponsor tab and check out the wide selection of sponsors brought to you by podcastcity.net. City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida, home of Draft Day. And the 1-year anniversary of Podcast City Network. Head over to City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida for a wide selection of indoor and outdoor TV, stage out in the back for live event musics, brew on tap, food menu. The grilled cheese is excellent, and much, much more at City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida. Atlantic Sound Records in Daytona Beach off of International Boulevard. If you're looking for that vinyl, CD, or cassette that you may have lost years ago or a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they may have it. So hit them up over on Facebook, Atlantic Sounds, and check out the latest selection of used and new vinyl, CDs, and cassettes over at Atlantic Sound Records. And if they don't have anything that you've been looking for, they'll get it for you. They will order it. So hit them up over on Facebook. Sport Sanity Customs in DeLand, Florida. Head over to sportsanitycustoms.com for your apparel selection, custom apparel, and podcastcity.net t-shirts. So any custom apparel that you need done, hit up sportsanitycustoms.com and they will hook you up. And Kentucky's Own Wrestling. Owner JJ McGuire brings you the best independent talent around in Kentucky's Own Wrestling. Hit him up over on Facebook and on Twitter, Kentucky's Own Wrestling. And shout out to Demo Blast Studios for being the new supporter of podcastcity.net. Shout out to David Stockwell. And you can find more information out on these great sponsors over on podcastcity.net on the sponsor tab, and hit them up and let them know that the shows and the great podcasts on Podcast City Network sent you. Well, I'm out of breath. That's a mouthful. That is a mouthful. And there's a lot more to talk about, man. There is a lot more to talk about. Before we close on wrestling, is there anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, close on wrestling. Don't forget to sponsor Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Check out Deathmatch Russell Podcast, official sponsor of Collar and Elbow. save 10% on your purchases when you go to the promo code Deathmatch Russell Podcast and click on the link collardelbowbrand.com.
Thank you, Mr. David C. Russell, on that. Thank you so much. Well,
and if you want to, I'm going to go take a piss.
You're gonna go take a piss.
Take it away, guys.
All right. So it's just me and you and Chris right now, and I know David has to go relieve
Sounds like old times.
Yeah, just like old times, man. At least you're not spilling beer all over my old studio like you did back on the Everett Lee show back in the day. And I got my dog running in. You sitting there. You're like, hey, Everett. My dog running over. And I pick up my dog to get him out there. I'm carrying him out.
I'm here for the
I'll try and pound it
when JJ comes over.
Oh, what? Boy, are you pissing behind that curtain?
Yeah, for real.
You pissing in that Mountain Dew 2-liter? Oh, damn. So, while he's doing that, relieving himself, man, I want to talk about a few things here. I don't know if you've heard any of this stuff here lately about the Coming to America. They're finally talking about doing a sequel, man. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, I heard about it, and I heard they had a certain director that they were going to be having lined up for. Can you shed more light on that?
Yes, I can. I am pulling it up right now. While I'm trying to pull this up right here, I briefly want to say that Coming to America, such a great movie, man. Such a great movie.
Oh, classic.
It was a classic.
Such a classic. Yeah, I remember watching it when I was growing up. You know what? That might be a good one for films of classic.
Yeah, definitely. That would be something good for films of classic right there. It definitely would. I guess the first one was directed by Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. I mean, he pretty much almost did everything on that film, from writing it to executive producer to, I think, directing. Well, it looks like they got Hustle and Flow's Craig Brewer to direct the Coming to America sequel. And the Hollywood Reporter has basically said that the upcoming sequel to the 1988 Eddie Murphy Coming to America has found the director in Craig Brewer, and he's known for writing and directing the 2005 musical drama Hustle and Flow, which is a great movie, and 2006 Black Snake Moan. He's also responsible for that. Apparently, the film was originally supposed to be set to be directed by Warm Bodies, Jonathan Levy, who has since departed the project. Brewer, who previously worked with Paramount Pictures on Flow Snake and 2011's Footloose remake, he will basically take the reins on the sequel, which is penned by Blackish creator Kenya Barris. The original film was directed by John Landis, because I was wrong there. I'll correct myself. And it starred Eddie Murphy. And if you haven't seen it... Huh? What?
Damn it, Everett.
The original had an African prince who goes to Queens, New York to look for a queen. And he posed as a poor man because he didn't want to be known as a rich king or prince, to look for his bride. It also had Arsenio Hall in it, James Earl Jones, Shaden Heldon, John Amos, and a small brief cameo by Mr. Samuel L. Jackson holding up a McDougal's. Is that what it was? Or no, McDougal. It was McDougal's.
McDougal's.
Yeah, or Dougal's. Right? They got the Big Mac. McDonald's has the Big Mac. I got the what was it? The sandwich. That was great, man.
And then you also can't forget Soul Glow.
Yeah.
Man.
That was great. That was
such a classic.
I know. Basically, comingsoon.net is got the article up there, and they said that Murphy's kept a low profile over the last 5 years. Only starred in one film, the dramatic 2016 dud, Mr. Church. He's been attacked on several non-starter projects, including Beverly Hills Cop 4, a twin sequel titled Triplets, and a Richard Pryor biopic from Lee Daniels. The upcoming sequel will mark the second collaboration between Brewer and Murphy, who filmed the upcoming biography comedy Dolomite Is My Name last year, which is expected to hit Netflix sometime this year. And what the hell?
Sorry, myself. Try my Superman. Sorry.
My God.
Oh my goodness.
This guy.
Damn!
Here's Johnny.
What do you collaborate?
Yeah, we're talking about the Coming to America sequel. Now, in that, Chris, we were talking about with Coming to America. I'm trying to pull up the next article here. I want to get your thoughts on that, on Coming to America 2. Would you see that? Where would they go with it? Where the hell would they probably go with it? Would it be like his children or something? Or he gets divorced and he has to go back out and find another queen?
I mean, when you look at it with how that was, it was a coming of age, going out, fighting my wife, and obviously all the comedy that went with it during the time.
Yes.
But when I look at it, when you're coming out of the sequel this far after that movie had come out, and now you're trying to reestablish a storyline, a lot of these movies end up just progressing to the kids and doing stuff like that. I kind of hope they don't do that, but ultimately they might have to. Now, Eddie Murphy, I think, is still in pretty good shape, and he could probably pull off, all kinds of stuff and whatnot, but I feel like it's going to end up just being a story about his kids, to where, maybe his son's now doing the same thing, and it's going to be some kind of comedian. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I guess that could happen with this movie. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see once that trailer hits.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely going to check that out once the trailer does hit, and what that brings. Now, one thing that gets me is that reboots, and more fucking reboots. It's like almost. It's just it.
Time
kind
for
of like
a
an
reboot.
old.
Yeah.
Kind of like an old pickle.
Fickle, 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 fickle.
Well, I'll tell you what's a fickle.
What?
This franchise that basically, I guess they spawned about 5 movies, I think was great, and it should have been left alone even after the second one, because I thought the third one was just garbage. Final Destination.
All aboard the Midtown Express to hell.
That's right. It's not time for a
reboot.
No, it's not. Shut up, Duke.
Definitely not.
It looks like, according that they are going to be coming out and they're going to be rebooting the Final Destination movies. Are you both familiar with the Final Destination movies that has come out?
Not really.
Honestly, I saw like the first 2, but in my opinion, they were all train wrecks, and it's because it's the same thing. Movie in and movie out. Just kind of like Saw. It ends up just getting really repetitive and extremely drawn out. And and now we're going to do it all again?
Yeah.
Yay.
And that's funny that you mentioned Saw, Chris, because the reboot is in development with Saw writers from the Saw franchise, writers Patrick Milton and Marcus Dunstan. Basically, the franchise began in 2000, and with the script originally written for Fox Supernatural series The X-Files, following a new group of teen young adults who narrowly escape a gruesome death when one has a premonition of the event, only for death to follow them and reclaim their souls in horrifying, unique ways of dying. Everything from stray drops of tea on a computer monitor to a train wreck on a production line. Composed of the 5 films, the original franchise was always received with mixed reviews from critics who constantly praised the death sequences and concept while frequently criticizing the poorly written dialogue and predictable plotting of the film. The series was, however, always a hit with audience, which with every film proving to be a commercial hit and having grossed nearly $700 million over the course of 11 years and 5 entries. A 6th entry in the series has been long discussed given the super surprise critical success the 5th installment proved to be, and a large financial success of the later 2 films, but developmental delays and seemingly lack of attention from the studios kept fans in the dark as if or when the franchise would ever return to the big screen. Okay, there's a little problem there with what I just read. Okay. Success, critically success, the 5th installment proven to be. Okay, if it was such a critical success, how come I didn't hear a fucking thing about it?
Because those movies are monotonous and repetitive, and the people that like them are also monotonous and repetitive in liking them. So we're people with better taste? Ooh, I'm the heel now.
Oh.
I just pulled a Daniel Bryan.
To be reckoned with.
But honestly, at the end of the day, like those movies only have so much entertainment value. Like,
yeah,
it's cool if you do 1, 2. Like, honestly, I even liked Saw 3. Saw 3 was my favorite.
Yes.
But it's like when you get these kinds of movies, it's like it's the same over and over, and it's all these same no-name characters and actors and actresses you have step into these roles in the same kind of. Yeah. Let's come up with new ideas now, okay? Let's bring it forward, like how Podcast City Network is. Just saying. Just saying.
New ideas, fresh content each and every week. I definitely do agree there. Because it's just how many. The first 2 movies I did enjoy. The third one with the roller coaster I thought was freaking garbage. All the stuff that was happening, I'm like, damn. I liked. Okay, I do own the 4th one, the Final Destination. I bought it because it was like, this is it. This is the Final Destination. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy it and watch it. And I loved how the premonitions of it started out at a racetrack, which was fucking great. Especially seeing a fucking 5-ton engine flying across in the air, landing in the stands and just crushing someone. That was just fucking great. And they're sitting there. That was just fucking great. Some of the death scenes was pretty cool. I figured that's what I like about it. The third one, I thought the death scenes were just fucking a joke. But the 4th one, they got a little bit creative. I have to give them credit for that. The 5th one, the only thing I seen on the 5th one was basically an incident happening on a fucking bridge, which I'm like, I didn't even know they released it. It must have been a direct to DVD thing. Who knows? But who knows? Let's talk about something that's a little bit lighter. You hear about Samuel Jackson, Mr. Pizza Man. I got you eating pizza. Oh, damn.
Had a long day. What can I say?
I know. You're sitting there eating pizza, man. Samuel Jackson. He was being interviewed, okay, and he just basically he put the internet on a conniption fit because everyone's been trying to figure out. I've been reading Reddit, I've been watching YouTube videos. People's been trying to figure out what the hell's been going on with Avengers Endgame. Where are they going? Is it time travel? People say time travel. No, time travel. It's going to be this. What's going to be like that? You all right, David? You having a coughing fit there?
Yeah.
Take a sip of Starbucks. You'll be all right, man. There you go. I knew you had one. Now, Samuel Jackson was being interviewed about Captain Marvel, and he was promoting Captain Marvel. In the comment that he gave, he was talking about Captain Marvel, how Captain Marvel, Brie, I can't believe my mind is just farting right now. Why the fuck did I see?
I should be partying after those tacos and fucking burrito I had. Oh. At a brand new location.
Now Samuel L. Jackson basically said that Cara Danvers, she has to come into her own, and Brie Larson has to come into her own, being this character, the strong, powerful character. And she said Captain Marvel is basically about strong as Thanos, or stronger, because the Avengers are hurting after the finger snap. And he's like, you know, everyone knows that she's about the only superhero that can time travel. As soon as he said that, it was like everybody just was like, no, it's like time travel. It made a lot of sense here. And I talked about it a little bit, a little spoiler alert on this Monday on the Imaginarium. I gave my thoughts on it. All I got to say is that time travel, Avengers Endgame, okay, will we see the role Captain Marvel time traveling to basically change everything Thanos did in Avengers Endgame? And do you think he was just throwing that out there to throw people off, or did he actually slip up? Because it's happened before, Chris.
Well, the thing is that if you go back and read the comics, that Captain Marvel did actually initiate in time travel. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's even a slip. It's just, you know, he's just making a comment about the abilities of Captain Marvel and the things that Captain Marvel is able to pull off. However,
yes, whether
the studio wanted him to say this or not, that would be the better question. But either way, there's no way to tell.
Right. There's no way to tell about that. There's definitely no way to tell if it was or wasn't. But I will say this, that it makes a lot of sense on what to expect from Avengers Endgame with that coming out, because it's gonna be fucking great. I'm looking forward to it. It comes out in what the hell does it come out? It comes out in March, and in April we get Avengers Endgame, and then I think July we get Spider-Man Far From Home.
Spider-Man.
Which is interesting, because you have to have these two films come out before you end up going back into the Spider-Verse, and it always makes you wonder, how are they able to go back into the Spider-Verse given what happened in Infinity War?
Yes.
So with that, are we going to have, time travel ends up either having to be a thing, or there has to be some other way they explain how everybody who disappeared survived.
There's going to be something. One of the theories they talked about was in the comics was when Thanos did the finger snap, everyone entered into the Soul Stone. That's where they're at. That's where they're at right now. And they're in the Soul Stone. And with them being in the Soul Stone, that there's a way with the time travel, that a theory is that they go back and get previous Avengers and superheroes from different timelines and brings them to the future to fight Thanos and to take Thanos out. That's a theory right there. And eventually they get everyone that was finger snapped back, into the present. And they put everyone back in their appropriate timelines like nothing happened. That's
always
something to think
a way
there.
to get around it.
Yeah. There's always a way to get about that and stuff. Here's a good question I want to throw out there for you, man. If you can time travel back in time, you're allowed to go back to one era in time. What era would you go back to for 24 hours? You're allowed to time travel back for 24 hours and a time period. Which time period would you go to?
Man, that's one I'd have to think about. That's a hard one. So many crazy things that happened in history. So many times to go and be Carnage, and well, you know what? There's only one time to go and be Carnage, and I'd have to go back to the 80s when metal was actually still a thing, because it's nowhere near as much of a thing now as it was then. So I'd probably go back to the 80s and rock my face off.
You'd rock your face off.
And then turn around and go to WrestleMania 1.
WrestleMania!
Nice. Nice. What about you, David? What about you?
Well, I would do whatever. You know, I'd go wherever I want to go. You don't know where I would be.
You're avoiding the question. The one question. Okay, the one question was, what time period were you allowed to go back to for 24 hours? Time travel back to?
Time travel, I'd go back to maybe the Wild West. A little Clint Eastwood action.
Nice.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
That's a little gunslinging, you know, drink a little whiskey. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You guys would be shocked where I'd go to. I would travel back in time to the first Woodstock in 1969. I'd trip my fucking balls off and be with the hippies.
And what's funny, apparently they're talking about doing a celebration show. I guess they have the 50th anniversary coming up.
Yeah, I read about that. I definitely did read about that. I was like 50 years. Hopefully they don't make the fucking same mistakes they did in 1999 and that caused riots and fires.
Oh yeah.
94 Woodstock was pretty damn good. 99, basically you had capitalism and commercialism jump in and decide, let's make a profit off of this. You know, these kids, they'll be too stoned and enjoying the music to realize. It's like, you know what? You could take your $5 bottle of water and stick it up your ass.
Yep.
$5 for a fucking bottle of water? Come on, are you kidding me? And I would go back to the first Woodstock and see Jimi Hendrix perform the Star Spangled Banner right there. You know,
America.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Yeah, maybe get into a tent in a mudslide with some hippie chicks. You know, I don't know. I'd probably just enjoy myself. And there's a movie that came out a few years ago. I suggest you check it out. It's called Taking Back Woodstock. I think that's what the name of it was. About a guy who basically was at the first Woodstock. It was about the people who owned the land for the first Woodstock and how he went to it. And it was a really great movie. I suggest you check that out. Well, that right there is all we have on what's coming out on the net and wrestling tonight.
Wow.
Pretty much quite a bit to talk about, guys. And what do you guys have to plug while we get ready to wrap this up here? What do you have to plug?
Well, first things first, you definitely got to make sure that you check out in 2 weeks exactly, January 26th, for the Podcast City Network 1 year anniversary show. 1 year anniversary show. In 2 weeks at 2620 North Woodland Boulevard in beautiful D-Land, Florida at City Limits Tap Room from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. while we have the Craig Thompson Project, all kinds of door prizes and giveaways, all of our shows coming at you with a live audience for recorded podcasts. I tell you what, it's going to be an amazing time. We have so many announcements, and of course, JJ McGuire, the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend. Tell you what, we have so many great things going on, but obviously definitely make sure that you keep your eyes peeled on the Chris Carnage social media, specifically facebook.com/Chris Carnage Official, as I'll be making an announcement of my next guest for the Chris Carnage Show that'll be coming out before our 1 year anniversary show in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Nice.
2 weeks.
Hell yeah. Can't say any more about that.
Chris, make sure you forgot one plug you forgot to plug. Sports score. Your sports score.
Oh, good old Final Score. Final Score is actually going through a slight reformat and we'll be making a return. Don't know if it'll be quite at the 1 year show. We'll see, maybe. You guys will have to come out and see.
Be there.
But yes, Final Score will be coming back out. It's going to be amazing. A lot of things going on with that. Man, I tell you what, Podcast City Network 2019 is going to be insane.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. What do you have going on, David? What's Deathmatch Russell Podcast doing this week?
Well, this week I'm just taking it easy. How's that? Nobody planned for a podcast. Maybe I'll see what I can do. I don't know. I don't have any lined up guests. So I got to pack my bags and head out somewhere pretty soon in 2 weeks.
That's right.
I'm flying on a plane from the Jersey Shore, getting my limo. Oh, no. And I'll go dine with the finest people in the world. Live the life.
Everett, did you approve a limo?
I did not. Don't look at me. Don't look at me when it comes to a limo, because I didn't approve for this shit. I didn't approve. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
You get the back of the Chevy Blazer.
No. That's it.
We don't have the fucking budget for a limo.
Well, we ain't WCW.
No, we ain't fucking WCW. You ain't rolling in here like Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, American Dream, got to come on in here. You better watch it, because Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, the son of a plumber. I'm going to be rolling in the Podcast City Network. And when I do, I'm going to grab that microphone. And when I do, I'm going to cut the promo. And when I cut the promo, I'm going to drop the bionic elbow. And when I drop the elbow, you're going to know that the American Dream has entered the building. And Elvis has left, brother.
But I'm just saying, I'm going to be picked up in style by the one and only Podcast City member team.
Yeah, that's right. It's called an Uber driver.
Everett Lee just had an out-of-body experience there just now. So sorry to all the fans out there. Please take a deep breath. Everything is back to normal now.
Yeah.
I think he just channeled, Dusty Rhodes using a Ouija board or something.
What?
Oh my God! What the fuck
Hey,
is that?
what?
Player, it's on.
What?
Every day, all day.
What?
Man up!
What?
Man up!
What? No.
But you know and I know that you're only half the man that I am. And I have half the brain that you do.
Always a good time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's gonna be fun. The 1 year anniversary. I cannot wait. Podcast City Network has done a lot in the last year, with the content, with the shows, and I'm so happy that Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, has went out on their own, and acquired sponsors for themselves. I'm just happy about that. They went out and did the legwork, and the hard work shows off. So I want to give a round of applause for that right there.
This company right here who branded me. So thank you guys.
No, we didn't brand you. We gave you a platform to use, and you used it, and that's where it's got you. We gave you a platform.
Jumped up hard.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. We definitely did. We definitely did. And I pretty much have, what do I have here? Let me pull this up right here. Because, what?
Huh?
I may hire you, David, as my PR guy for Everett Lee show. I don't have to say nothing. I could go.
What?
And then you just for me.
Makes magic happen.
You don't even know what the hell I was going to say. You're going out, you're basing everything off assumption, man. What the hell is wrong with you? I gotta rib you, man. It's been a while since you did ELS Uncut.
The ribbing began.
Yes, the ribbing always does.
You get here too.
Thank God you don't got Damian Saint tonight, because you'd be shit out of luck, boy.
Actually, speaking of Damian Saint, actually, February 13th, actually coming out this way for a trifecta. I might just join him. I might be going to a training seminar.
That's right.
Like
nice.
He's coming down. For all the promotions are gonna, for the training trifecta training school, they're doing a seminar. So I might have to just join him and check it out.
Nice. All right,
my backyard almost. So
that is awesome, man. That is awesome. Shout out to Damian Saint. I have right here coming up on January 16th, right there, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, the Stubborn Angel, Shauna Reed. The live stream will be live on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. To find out when this episode drops and everything, head over to on Facebook on Podcast City Network, and you can check out the tweets over on at Podcast City Net. But be sure to check out January 16th, why I have the Stubborn Angel, Shauna Reed. She will be on. We'll be discussing a lot of things. A lot. Yes, a lot of good things. So check that out. Anything else you guys want to add before I hit the outro?
Yeah, let's just want to remind everybody to make sure you listen to the Deathmatch Russell podcast alongside the Everett Lee Show live February 1st on Twitch Network with the owner of Standalone Wrestling and After Dark Wrestling and SWF Wrestling Associations and the Trifecta. Stay tuned because we're gonna have the guest. We're gonna be talking to Chad Mines, the creation behind the master of the wrestling promotions.
Yes, Chris. Anything else you want to add?
I'll definitely make sure that you stay tuned with everything that we have coming up, Podcast City Network, and with the Chris Carnage Show. Things are rolling hot. Make sure you check out Chris Carnage on Twitter at Planet Carnage, as I'm always making some kind of post and some kind of craziness because it's what I do. Or you can go ahead and hop on over to Facebook.com/Chris Carnage Official and make sure you keep your eyes glued, especially for the announcement of my next guest for the Chris Carnage Show, which you can find exclusively on podcastcity.net and on twitch.tv/Chris Carnage Official.
All right. And that's it. That is it. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on ELS Uncut tonight. 2019. Be sure to check more ELS Uncut on Friday, Saturday nights here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. This has been your filthy fucking uncut Everett Lee Show, ELS Uncut variety. So, with that said, Everett Lee signing off, and be sure to follow more Everett Lee on Facebook, The Everett Lee Show, and on Twitter at the Everett_Lee. Have a good night, and thank you for tuning in for ELS Uncut. We will see you again next week for another episode. Peace.